Constitutions are like rule books. They lay down the basic principles of a nation. They also guarantee certain fundamental rights to their citizens. But what happens when these rights are violated? Who steps in to enforce them? That's where courts come in. They act as guardians of these rights. They ensure that governments operate within the boundaries set by the Constitution. Courts play a vital role in interpreting constitutional provisions. This task is crucial. Constitutions use broad language. They can be open to interpretation. Courts provide specific meanings to these broad principles. They clarify how they apply in real-life situations. Through their decisions, courts breathe life into the words of the Constitution. One of the most powerful tools courts have is judicial review. This power allows them to examine laws passed by legislatures. They can even strike down laws they deem unconstitutional. This power ensures that no law contradicts the fundamental principles enshrined in the Constitution. Judicial review acts as a safeguard against tyranny. It ensures that the will of the people, as expressed in the Constitution, remains supreme. Landmark cases throughout history have shaped our understanding of constitutional rights. These cases serve as milestones. They mark significant advancements in the fight for equality and justice. Through these rulings, courts have struck down discriminatory practices. They have expanded the scope of fundamental rights. These cases stand as testaments to the power of the judiciary. They remind us of the importance of an independent judiciary in safeguarding our freedoms. The United States has a long and complicated history with race. For decades, racial segregation was the law of the land. This meant separate schools, buses, and public facilities for black and white Americans. This system, known as Jim Crow, was inherently unequal. It relegated black Americans to second-class citizenship. The fight against segregation was a long and arduous one. It culminated in one of the most important Supreme Court cases in American history, Brown v. Board of Education. In 1954, the Supreme Court handed down its landmark decision in Brown v. Board of Education. This ruling declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional. The court recognized that separate educational facilities were inherently unequal. This decision was a watershed moment in the fight for civil rights. It sent shockwaves throughout the nation. The Brown v. Board of Education decision was met with resistance. Many states in the South refused to comply with the ruling. They clung to their segregationist policies. However, the court's decision gave momentum to the civil rights movement. It emboldened activists and energized the fight for equality. This landmark case stands as a testament to the power of judicial review. It demonstrates how courts can act as catalysts for social change. The legacy of Brown v. Board of Education is undeniable. It paved the way for desegregation efforts across the country. It affirmed the principle of equality for all, regardless of race. India, a land of immense diversity, faced its own constitutional challenges in the years after independence. The newly formed nation adopted a constitution that guaranteed fundamental rights to all its citizens. However, questions arose about the extent of the government's power to amend the constitution. This issue came to a head in the landmark case of Kesavananda Bharati v. State of Kerala. In 1973, the Indian Supreme Court delivered a historic judgment in the Kesavananda Bharati case. This case centered around the right to property and the government's power to amend the constitution. The court recognized the government's power to amend the constitution. However, it placed a crucial limitation on this power. The court held that the government could not amend the constitution in a way that altered its basic structure. This judgment established the basic structure doctrine. This doctrine holds that certain fundamental features of the Constitution are beyond the reach of amendments. These features include the supremacy of the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the federal character of the nation. The basic structure doctrine acts as a safeguard against arbitrary amendments. It ensures that the core principles of the Constitution remain inviolable. The Kesavananda Bharati case is a cornerstone of Indian constitutional law. It affirmed the judiciary's role as the protector of the Constitution. This case ensures that the government's power to amend the Constitution is not absolute. The basic structure doctrine stands as a testament to the court's commitment to upholding the rule of law and protecting the fundamental tenets of the Indian Constitution. The fight for LGBTQ+ rights has been a long and arduous one. For years, LGBTQ+ individuals faced discrimination and prejudice. They were denied basic rights and freedoms enjoyed by others. One of the most significant milestones in this fight came in 2015 with the landmark Supreme Court decision in Obergefell v. Hodges. In Obergefell v. Hodges, the Supreme Court ruled that the fundamental right to marry is guaranteed to same-sex couples. This decision legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. It marked a turning point in the fight for LGBTQ+ equality. The court recognized that marriage is a fundamental right inherent in the liberty of the person. They affirmed that this right applies equally to same-sex couples. This landmark ruling had a profound impact on American society. It not only granted same-sex couples the right to marry, but also challenged deeply ingrained prejudices. The Obergefell decision sent a clear message that LGBTQ+ individuals are entitled to the same rights and dignities as everyone else. The Obergefell v. Hodges case is a testament to the power of the judiciary to drive social change. It serves as a beacon of hope for marginalized communities fighting for equality. The court's decision affirmed that love is love and that all individuals deserve equal protection under the law.